What's going on? Kyle Rest here with the Hydromind podcast. Today we're talking about how to get the ideal surfing body. Alright, 3 tips to get the ideal surfing body. This is a huge thing. Surfing is such a demanding sport, so your body is what carries you, it's what keeps you safe, it's what puts you on waves, so you got to take care of your body if you want to surf great now and then later into the future as well. So these are the top 3 tips that I like to give to help people put them on the path to getting their ideal surfing body weight and what I call the performance weight. So, secret number 1. This is the biggest one. This is something that nobody else teaches, and if you only figure out this thing, you can pretty much have anything you want in life. It's what stands between people and getting the body that they want. It's not the information. Everybody knows you're supposed to eat healthy, you're supposed to work out more. But why isn't everyone in shape? It's because there's people lose their motivation, they lose, this things get in the way, right? They have food addictions that are more powerful than their reason why they want to go to the gym. And I'm guilty of this too. I've struggled over the years a lot, body weight going up and down, all these kind of things. The way to get past this is bigger than anything. Something called the one love principle. So what does that mean? What is the one thing that is more important to you than your food addictions? What's more important to you than the excuses that you make for not going to the gym? What's more important to you than those foods that make you happy for a few minutes that make you feel sick afterwards? So you got to dig super deep here, and you really got to picture the life that you want. You got to think down the road, but really what you want out of life. And because this is a surfing fitness podcast, I really like to focus it around surfing too, because surfing is so important. Surfing is so passion driven. It's easy to draw on emotions because you have to have an emotional pull, an emotional why. It can't just be logical, because you know living healthy is right. Everyone knows that, like I said before. So why isn't everyone healthy? Because you don't attach emotion and you don't attach goals, real goals. So I'll share mine with you, what my one love is. So the reason that I really focus on staying in shape is because I got 2 little kids, and I want to make sure that I'm there for them. And so I call this, I'm trying to start a movement that I'm calling redefining the dad bod. Because the dad bod right now means they're out of shape. It's an excuse to be out of shape. Like, got no time, I got a dad bod. I don't want to make that excuse. I never want to tell my kids, no, I'm too tired. No, my back's too sore. I don't ever want to tell my kids, oh, I used to surf, back when I used to surf, you know what I mean? I want to be out there charging as hard as I can. As my kids are getting bigger, their energy's going higher and higher and higher. So I got to make sure my energy's going up too. So redefining the dad bod is flipping that on its head, realizing dad's got to be healthy and vital. So that's what drives me. So really, what I mean about picturing it and making it real in your mind, attaching emotion to it, you got to picture it so crystal clear that it becomes real in your imagination. You can feel those emotions. So I picture myself surfing with my 2 sons. My oldest is 3, my youngest is 6 months. So I picture surfing with them when they're teenagers, when they're in their 20s, what it's like to trade waves with them and teach them how to surf, sharing the stoke and snowboarding and skateboarding, all that stuff. So that's what pulls me. So when I try to reach for the shitty foods, or I try to skip a work, or I think considering skipping a workout, I can always go back to my one love, and that's bigger. It's so much bigger than these temporary things, right? So that's what I mean by starting with the one love. And this is what I mean by, if you get this right, you can have anything. So this drives me in business, this drives me in fitness, this drives me in parenting. It's like I just want to be the best I can for them. And you don't need kids to have this kind of inspiration. You just got to have love for yourself. You got to have a future that's big and amazing enough to make changes for. So when you're setting your one love up, think big, don't go small. If you have a goal, triple it, quadruple it, 10x it, make it audacious, and really believe it in your head, make it real in your mind, really imagine it in detail, and that'll really help drive it home. So that's tip number 1, super important. Spend as much time as you need on this, write it down, make it real, write all the things that are important to you, put them all together into a big dream goal for you, and that one love will pull you through those tough times. I guarantee if you do this right, it'll work. So that's the one love principle. The second one, and this is a big one, this is something that is kind of, I don't want to call it paradoxical, but it's kind of a contrarian sort of viewpoint in the fitness world. And I want you to change your fitness goals from being aesthetic based. So instead of wanting the 6-pack and wanting the big muscles like you see like a bodybuilding style body, instead of having aesthetic goals, have performance goals. So another part of the One Love, it's got to be something for you, right? So, because if you're trying to get in shape for someone else, to make someone else happy, it's not for you. That's destined to fail. So with this, making performance goals are about you as well too. So it's a reward for yourself. So again, being a surfing fitness show, make goals like make your goals like wanting to surf longer without getting tired, being able to surf 2 a-days when you're on a surf trip and not get tired or not get sore or not have injuries or rehab injuries. So performance goals are all about performing in the water, or increasing breath hold time, increasing mobility. So there's so many different things in there, right? So when you aim at your performance goals, not only will it'll be more real and you'll get that feedback from hitting these goals, but you'll get the body too. You'll get the aesthetics afterwards. So focus on performance, focus on health, vitality, mobility, endurance, and that'll change a lot for you, because like I said before, it'll be about you too. So it'll be something personal. You can really measure it, and you can really get those high level rewards when you have performance goals. And I like to call it aiming for your performance weight. So it's not starving yourself to get a six pack. It's not dying under a 300-pound bench press to get as big as possible, because none of that stuff matters in surfing. You look at Kelly Slater, the best of all time. He never had a six pack. He had low body fat and great endurance muscles top to bottom, but he didn't look like a bodybuilder. No one does. Even the most muscular guys like Gabriel Medina and Mick Fanning, they still carry body fat, and no one questions their performance. So your performance weight is a much better goal, and that's what I like to promote to people. So I'm not the get a six pack guy. I used to think I wanted that more than anything, and then I don't know, I just care more about performance, and it became that perspective shift. So right here we're talking about mindset mostly, right? So here's another so tip number 3 is going to be about some real practical thing you can do, right? So I'm talking about intermittent fasting. So this is when to eat, and this is a big one, and it's simple. It couldn't be more simple. So it's eating within an 8-hour window. So you're sleeping for 8 hours, and you're awake you eat for 8, and then so 8 hours you don't eat. So that's 24 hours. So what I like to do is do it from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I wake up in the morning, I don't have anything with any calories, except for sometimes black coffee, and don't eat till 10 a.m. So that's a pretty easy thing. I get up at 8, so it's only 2 hours sometimes, or I get up at 7. Well, actually, there's a lot of times I get up way earlier than that too. So that can be a little bit difficult in the beginning, especially if you're used to having a big breakfast and your coffee with like cream and sugar and that kind of thing. It's gonna be different, but there's amazing benefits to it. Once you get used to it, especially if you're on a ketogenic diet, it becomes really easy because your body's metabolizing fat in the mornings. It's a lot easier, but the best part about it is not eating after 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is important. You can push it to 7 if you like, but I always recommend 6 just because I don't want to give this or that kind of advice. I want it's more direct. The reason 6 p.m. is because it gives you enough time to digest your food if you have a 10 o'clock bedtime. So you go to sleep on an empty stomach. It's really important to go to sleep on an empty stomach because that's when your body repairs itself. If you go to sleep on a full stomach, it takes tons of energy to digest food. So instead of using that energy to digest food, you're using it to repair your body. So your muscles are growing after your workouts. So important. And when you wake up after not eating at 6 p.m., you wake up in the morning, you feel so good, have so much energy, you're not bogged down. You'll look and feel great in the mornings, and that is a great motivator as well too. So, and when I disobey this rule, I feel it. I really feel it. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. Definitely worth trying. And there's lots of studies, which I won't get into the nitty gritty of the science of it, but it improves weight loss, endurance. There's lots of evidence to show it improves longevity with because like your cells are dying all the time, but it helps the dead cells die and new ones can be born. So it's really rejuvenating in that way. And so that's that. So that's the 3 tips, and I'm gonna give you a 4th bonus tip here since I got your attention. The 4th one is high intensity interval training. So surfing is an endurance sport. It's an endurance sport where you're forced to hold your breath over and over. So it's super intense. But long form cardio, like going for a 2-hour run, is so old school. You don't have to do that death march style cardio. High intensity interval training the across the board in studies shows that it's has better results. And not only that, it takes literally 1/10 the amount of time. A set of Tabatas, which is a 20-second sprint, 10-second rest, 8 times, that's 4 minutes. Can you do a 4 minutes a cardio session? For sure. And it's better for weight loss. It's better for muscular endurance. And the most recent study I just saw was so cool. It was professional soccer players in the off season. They did a case study, so that half the people, so they measured at the end of the season, they measured all their endurance markers, like all the performance tests. And so they split them into 2 groups. One group did long form cardio, traditional style. The other group did high intensity training. They did Tabatas, actually, like I talked about, the 2-in-1s. And then they measured them when they all came back, and the high intensity guys blew away the long form cardio guys. So it's just like I said, the studies across the board are showing that high intensity training is the best. And another part of it is your body's super smart and it adapts. So if you are doing long form cardio, your body slows down your metabolism to save calories, because it just thinks you're gonna need that stuff to go farther, right? So it really slows your metabolism down. Speeding up your metabolism by doing sprints is really, really good, especially for our sports where there's a lot of breath holding and you need like bursts of energy and things like that. So I recommend that so much. It changed the way I viewed endurance training completely upside down. And the way I like to do it, there's a lot of different ways to do it. But if you're gonna do it on a cardio machine, treadmills are harder because you gotta adjust the speed, right? So you gotta like click up to go faster or colder, faster or slower. But I like to use the elliptical because just your effort can control it, right? That's for cardio machines. But also the best one I think for surfers is the battle ropes, right? We got the big ropes attached to the wall, because that's like sprinting for your arms. And surfing's an endurance sport where you run with your arms paddling, right? So it's super good for that, and it builds bone density, and that's really great for longevity, and it's low impact too. So that's what I recommend. That. So okay, one last bonus tip is a ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet, if you don't know, can actually increase your breath hold time, because when you think, your brain burns glycogen for energy, but it can't just burn glycogen. It needs oxygen to oxidate the glycogen to break it down so your brain can use it, right? That uses roughly about 20% of your oxygen thinking. But when you're on a ketogenic diet, your body produces ketones. It's a faster burning fuel. Your brain can use ketones instead of glycogen, only it doesn't need oxygen to oxidize it. It just burns ketones as they are. So that creates 20% more available oxygen to burn in your muscles or wherever, right? So having 20% more available oxygen is massive. And even taking a ketone supplement just before you surf, if you're not on a ketogenic diet, can give you this effect too. So that's super awesome stuff. So that's 5 tips you got there for getting the ideal surf body. Get your one love, change it to performance goals, intermittent fasting, high intensity cardio, and try a ketogenic diet. And if a ketogenic diet isn't for you, take a ketone supplement before you surf, especially on big days. So if this is something you're interested in, what I just listed out here is basically the principles of my Waterman Shred program. So it's lose 10 pounds of body weight every single month until you get down to your performance weight, and then you can get a more maintaining lifestyle, so you can just keep that performance weight and surf the best. And it's all about health, it's all about longevity, it's all about performance goals. So it's all about paddle strength, it's all about breath hold time, it's all about endurance, and then that performance weight. I've been through the fire. I've had all the struggles when it comes to body weight and performance and all that stuff. I've done all the work, I've done all the research, I've done all the testing on myself. The stuff works. So it's one of my best selling programs. After the paddle strength system, this one is really coming up there. People are loving it, getting great results, and it's one of the best sellers. And so I want to give you a free trial. It's one of my favorite things to do, is like to put my money where my mouth is. Try the system. It's a 4-week program. Well, it can be extended. It's 4 phases, 1 week each. And then at week 4, you stay there until you get to your performance weight. So I can let you go through all 4 stages for free. So you get 30 days. Try it all. And only if you love me, or if you love me and my program, will I ask for any investment on your part. And if not, send me one message. You won't be charged anything, and you can still keep the system for free. So that's how I do it. I want the best things for you. And if you do get results, just do me one favor. Just do whatever it takes to inspire the people around you. Tell them about me if you want to, or or just tell them what you're doing, and be the change in your crew that helps everyone stay healthier, longer, stronger, surfing better, teaching all our kids, the next generation. And like I talked about my one love, it's about being the best for my children, but I want to be there for my grandkids. I'm going to be there teaching my grandkids to surf for sure. I'll have a long gray beard, wise old man, and still in great shape, still shredding. So that's the one love for me, and I hope that carries you into the best life ever for you too and your family. So my name is Kyle Russ with Hydro Mind. Send me a DM on Instagram, or you can email. Just Instagram's the easiest way, or email me. I can answer those too, but Instagram's the best way. And you can get a link to the free trial of the Waterman Shred with all the principles I talked about here today. So I hope you like that kind of stuff. And if you enjoyed this podcast, tell a friend, leave a comment, take a screenshot of it on your phone, share it with somebody on Instagram. I'd really, really appreciate that. I do this for free, so if you can help me spread the word, I'd really appreciate that too. So my name is Kyle Russ, Hydro Mind. Talk to you soon.